In this video, we will be learning about constructors in C++, their syntax, types of constructors, and implementation of constructors. So what are constructors? Constructor in C++ is a special method that is invoked automatically at the time of object creation. It is used to initialize the data members of new objects generally. The constructor in C++ has the same name as the class or structure. It provides data for the object. Let's see the syntax for implementing constructors in C++. The prototype of the constructor looks as shown in the video. It can also be declared inside the class declaration or outside the class declaration. Now, let's see about the different types of constructors available in C++. They are default constructors, parameterized constructors, and the copy constructor. First, we'll see about the default constructor. So a default constructor in C++ is a constructor that takes no arguments. It is also called a zero-argument constructor. In the example program, when an object of box is created, the default constructor initializes the object. As we can see, the default constructor initializes the object without taking any argument. Now, let's move on to the parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructors make it possible to pass arguments to constructors. Typically, these arguments help initialize an object when it is created. To create a parameterized constructor, simply add parameters to it the way you would to any other function. When you define the constructor's body, use the parameters to initialize the object. In the example shown, the parameterized constructor allows the initialization of an object length with value 10. Let's move on to the copy constructor. A copy constructor is a member function that initializes an object using another object of the same class. Just like the default constructor, the C++ compiler also provides an implicit copy constructor if the explicit copy constructor definition is not present. Here, it is to be noted that, unlike the default constructor where the presence of any type of explicit constructor results in the deletion of the implicit default constructor, the implicit copy constructor will always be created by the compiler if there is no explicit copy constructor or explicit move constructor is present. In the example program, the copy constructor creates a new object by copying data from an existing object. In this example, B2 is created as a copy of B1. Now, let's see about constructor overloading in C++. In C++, we can have more than one constructor in a class with same name, as long as each has a different list of arguments. This concept is known as constructor overloading and is quite similar to function overloading. Overloaded constructors essentially have the same name, exact name of the class, and different by number and type of arguments. A constructor is called depending upon the number and type of arguments passed. While creating the object, arguments must be passed to let compiler know which constructor needs to be called. In the example program shown, box objects are created using the default, parameterized, and copy constructors. Now, let's move on to the last concept of this video, the destructors. Destructor is an instance member function that is invoked automatically whenever an object is going to be destroyed. Meaning, a destructor is the last function that is going to be called before an object is destroyed. The key points to remember about destructors are: a destructor is also a special member function like a constructor. Destructor destroys the class objects created by the constructor. Destructor has the same name as their class name preceded by a tilde symbol. It is not possible to define more than one destructor. The destructor is only one way to destroy the object created by the constructor. Hence, destructor cannot be overloaded. Destructor neither requires any argument nor returns any value. It is automatically called when an object goes out of scope. Destructor release memory space occupied by the objects created by the constructor. In destructor, objects are destroyed in the reverse of an object creation. In the example program shown, the destructor is called when the object B goes out of scope. We learnt what are constructors in C++, their types, implementation with example programs, constructor overloading, and destructor. Understanding these helps create flexible and robust classes, ensuring your objects are properly initialized. Thanks for watching.